A little bit of...
Today we are reacting to Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's skincare routine and answering the age-old question, can you be pretty and be in politics? And for those who don't know or are new here, hi, screw my introduction, who cares that I was a medical esthetician or studied skincare for 10 years, yada yada, blah blah. Let's introduce this woman. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has some amazing work under her belt. She took office at age 29 and has been the youngest female to ever serve in United States Congress. Before she worked in Congress, she was actually a bartender, so she's used to dealing with idiotic, belligerent people who both talk and act like they're drunk. In college, she doubled in both international relations and in economics, and she graduated cum laude, so even though she's intelligent when it comes to politics and book smarts, does she know anything about skincare?
Hello Vogue, buenos dias. This is Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and I am here to walk you through my skincare and red lip routine. I have not gotten much sleep. Welcome to life in politics. We are trying to get people health care, making sure that they are taken care of in a pandemic. People are fighting too much, and so I have bags under my eyes. And so I always start with a toner. This is just one that I happen to be using right now.
I'm glad that she mentions she's just happening to use this one right now, because this is not the best toner. It's from Estee Lauder. I don't really like it. It is overpriced. However, toners do serve a purpose. The purpose of a toner is to rebalance the skin's pH and help other products penetrate deeper. And I also hope that she's going to help rebalance politics and what's happening in government right now. Specifically things such as the wage gap between men and women, which is very relevant in politics, as well as rebalancing the separation of the upper class and the lower class because the middle class is disappearing. And hopefully she'll also help balance out some of the racism that's happening in America, because she is a proud Puerto Rican woman. Ella nació en el Bronx, en Nueva York, pero su familia es de Puerto Rico. Entonces es muy multicultural y espero que ella pueda aportar algo de este sabor a la política que está dominada por los blancos. Just saying.
Apply some toner and just wet my face.
I like that she's being eco-friendly by putting this in her hands and then patting it in instead of using cotton rounds. She's also trying to help instate the Green New Deal, which would help even more for environmental conservation.
I am following up with some vitamin C.
She doesn't show us which vitamin C she is using, but vitamin C is known to be both brightening and wound healing, both of which our country desperately needs right now. The wounds that have been inflicted upon the society, especially to those who are marginalized, whether that be people of darker skin color, women, the LGBT+ community, there are a lot of wounds that this society is facing, and anything that could help us speed up that healing process would be greatly appreciated. Vitamin C is also known to be brightening, and anyone who has eyes can see that this future needs some brightening right now, from a world pandemic to murder hornets to California literally being up in flames as I sit here. There is smoke and ash circling to the air to the point that it looks like it's snowing outside. Yeah, we could definitely use some brightening, and working out our immigration issues, our wage issues, our gender gap issues, and our political issues would be a great place to start.
I just add a little bit of moisturizer.
This Acure Radically Rejuvenating Whipped Night Cream is actually a fantastic one. This specific moisturizer does have ferulic acid, again that vitamin C, and this actually has peptides. So what are peptides in skincare? Well, amino acids make up peptides. You can think of them as little building blocks or little beads, and when they're strung together, they turn into a peptide or a polypeptide chain. Those peptide chains end up getting folded into proteins, and proteins are what our body is built on, and even our skin is made up of proteins such as collagen and elastin. And those are what give our skin structure, strength, and flexibility. You could also kind of think of this as like an amino acid being an individual person, a peptide chain being the Congress people or the senators that we elect to serve us in government, and the protein being the government that's supposed to support us and keep us strong and keep us healthy, right? Unfortunately, some could argue it's been failing to do that recently, but you know, hopefully with good amino acids strung into good peptides and folded into better protein governments, maybe we'll have some hope. But again, that's why the vitamin C is in here, because we need a brighter future.
So I get questions all the time on my Instagram stories about skincare routines and makeup and what I do. And the reason why I think it's so important to share these things is that, first of all, femininity has power. and in politics, there is so much criticism and nitpicking about how women and femme people present ourselves. Just being a woman is quite politicized here in Washington.
I think that's why she used the radically rejuvenating night cream, because it is radical to have an empowered woman in politics. Shouldn't be, but here we are.
There's this really false idea that if you care about makeup, if your interests are in beauty and fashion, that's somehow frivolous. But I actually think these are some of the most substantive decisions that we make, and we make them every morning.
It's not a routine, it's a ritual. And those of us who have rituals that we stand by and that we are led by probably have good morals and values that help to dictate our decisions and our actions, which can influence change upon others, including those in our friends and family around us, but also in our societies and our cultures even wider. Does anyone else ever feel judged when you wear too much makeup or dress for yourself in an outfit that makes you look good, but people assume that you're dressing for the opposite sex or something like that? Or, let's be honest with ourselves, do you ever judge other women for how they look? And do you ever tie their appearance to their intelligence? I'll be honest, I used to do that back in the day. It was something subconscious that I didn't realize, but it was a habit that I had to break, because your intelligence has nothing to do with how you look.
I've got SPF. If you are at all...
We love a queen who knows how to protect and stand up for her skin, just the way she knows how to stand up for people impacted by the Flint water crisis and the Dakota Access Pipeline.
If you are at all a melanated woman, it's really hard to find sunscreen, because a lot of sunscreens have a white cast. And I think that a lot of women know this. See, look how you have to be really generous with sunscreen. Don't play games. Don't play games with sunscreen.
Don't play games with sunscreen. Don't play games with chemical peels. Don't play games with at-home microneedling. And don't play games with women's bodies, Medicare, or the right to vote by mail.
You'd always rather put too much than too little. So don't forget your ears, don't forget your eyelids.
Finally, someone who is applying their sunscreen correctly to the ears all over using a decent amount. This is the role model we need. And I actually believe that she knows a thing or two about sun exposure. I mean, she has an asteroid named after her, by the way. And although I don't like this micro defense formula because it's not cruelty-free, it does have fragrance and it could be stinging, hey, it helps protect her skin from the burn. No, not that one, the burn. The burn, which other politicians are gonna need when she enters a room and starts speaking.
I travel between DC and New York pretty much every single week. This is kind of one of the most taxing sides of being a member of Congress, is that Congress, when it's in session, we're in DC about 4 days a week. And then we have to fly back home to work in our communities 3 days a week. And that's 7 days a week. That's a lot of traveling. It is also a huge toll on your skin.
Skincare is self-care. Think of yourself as a cup and it's filled with your energy. If you keep pouring out that energy to other people, you're just gonna get depleted. But if you pour self-care into that cup and it starts to overflow because you're taking care of yourself so well, other people can then take that extra and use that to fill them up. Skincare is self-care, and the hard truth is that if you don't put yourself first in certain situations and create boundaries and routines to keep you safe, happy, and healthy, you can't go help other people and make amazing changes if you are exhausted and sleep deprived and can't function. I love that she brings this up because I feel like people, including myself, have no idea what people in Congress really do or how hard they actually work. I didn't know that she went back to her community every single week to do things. But this is also testament to the fact that we who vote are choosing these people to make, yes, these big overhead changes, but also local changes. So just like skincare being self-care, take this stuff seriously.
But the other aspect of it is carrying your products. I still have my makeup routine and I often have to carry it once a week, and so it's not worth packing and unpacking.
A woman who has the strength to lug those products around, as well as the organizational power to include them in her packed bag, is someone that I trust the weight of politics on to help lead and influence my country. She takes us through her makeup routine and shows us her pretty plus powerful sides, which I highly recommend you watch. And I know we don't get political on this channel very often, but I want to hear your thoughts on some of this. Whether you agree with her or disagree with her on some of these policies that she's working on, what do you think? Because if we have those kindness-fueled conversations, we can understand opposing sides and we can all grow in the process. We also need two things right now. Her toner and her sunscreen could use a little bit of help. Does anyone know if you're allowed to send Congress people packages? Like, I know that you're allowed to send them letters, but like, could we send her a box of skincare goodies? If anybody knows how to facilitate this, please tell me, because I'd like to be one of the people to do that. In addition to you watching the rest of her video and somehow helping me find an address that I can ship her products to, please vote. Regardless of where you fall on party lines, your voice matters. Voting is a privilege. And if we don't use it, we might lose it. And if you are not in America, or if you can't vote, hey, you have a voice, you have social media. Speak up and use your voice, even if it's controversial, in hopes that we can spark conversation that can lead us to helpful discussions that can lead us to building better communities, which, as controversial as it may be, that's what I'm trying to do here. Also, if we can add like a bonus number 4, it's nice that she has an asteroid named after her. Why don't we go name a whole freaking planet after her? That's what we should be doing. Turn that like button as blue as the asphyxiated faces of politicians when they see a powerful and pretty woman come in and help make radical changes to restore our society, all while doing it without smudging her red lipstick or tripping on her stilettos. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos on skin science, and if you want another reaction video, we've done a video reacting to and breaking down a Victoria's Secret model's overpriced routine and talking about the truth behind it. Always remember to be beautiful inside and out. Go vote, make your voice heard, and I cannot wait to see you in this next video. Love you guys. Bye.